Yo, what is up, guys? Joker here, bringing you another video. This is going to be going over Path of Exile's biggest issue, being poor. League after league, I see numerous posts, now more than ever with the influx of people that came over from Diablo 4, saying they have no idea how people are able to just sit on 50, 60, 100 divines in their stash tabs, that they can barely make 3 divines, that they want to try this build, but they only have a divine or two, and they just don't understand how to make currency in this game. So, first of all, we're going to have to address the fact that Path of Exile is an extremely complicated game with a very unique market. A lot of things that would work in other games just won't work in Path of Exile, and the trends of the market are very heavily based around player knowledge. So, as a new player, it's completely understandable for you to be struggling with making currency or having multiple divines. With that being said, I make roughly 3 to 500 divines a league, so I'm by no means the richest player, but I'm also not the poorest player. I'm able to afford everything that I want to do during the time that I play the league. If I want to try mapping strategies, if I want to try a build, if I want to try gambling, I'm able to do whatever I want whenever I want, and that's the level that I want to get the average player to, where they're not struggling for currency and they're able to have enough currency to do whatever they want to do in the game. Now, a quick disclaimer, this video is going to be for new to intermediate players. If you're more of an advanced player, you can still probably learn something from these tips because I'm 6,000 hours into Path of Exile and I'm still learning things every day, but majority of this will be stuff that a more advanced player probably already knows and or does. Okay, so first off, I shouldn't have to say this, but do not gamble. For those in the back, do not gamble. For those not paying attention, do not gamble. Gambling is a luxury for the rich. This means everything from doubling divination cards to opening stacked decks to opening voidborn keys. Anything that can be gambled on, do not do. You will lose 99% of the time. You do not have the streamer client, you will lose. The first tip that I can really give any player is going to be making your own loot filter. This is going to be because Path of Exile drops a plethora of items, and you don't want to be taking a streamer's loot filter because of the fact that they're going to be blocking a lot of items that could be beneficial to you. Past the first day, most streamers and content creators are going to block out things like small stacks of gumball currency and 6 sockets, which can make the average player a lot of currency. But the reason why streamers and content creators block this out is because they're progressing so much faster than the average player that it's almost a waste of inventory space for us to pick it up. But on the flip side, for the average player, it could be tens, hundreds of extra chaos you're missing out on just because you wanted to take a streamer's loot filter. The second thing would be this myth about the right or wrong way to make currency. Everything in Path of Exile is a viable way of making currency, so do what you enjoy. If you want to map, do that. If you want to boss, do that. If you want to craft, do that. If you want to flip items, do that. All of these are viable ways to make currency. You will have to learn how to do each of these effectively, but some of the richest players in the game don't actually play the game, they play the market. So if anyone tells you that you're making currency the wrong way or there's a wrong way to make currency, they don't know what they're talking about. My third tip is going to be something else rather obvious, but take the time to learn the basics of crafting. Some of the best crafters in the game throw up free guides on YouTube teaching beginners the basics of crafting. And this is because of the fact that a lot of the items on trade are going to be incredibly overpriced. You don't want to end up spending 10C on a 2C pair of boots. Okay, so this fourth tip is going to seem strange, but don't do this. Don't Google or YouTube how to make currency in blank. The reason for this is because everyone else is doing this, and the more people that do a strategy, the less profitable it is. I'm not saying you can't get base ideas from YouTube videos, but you really don't want to be copying them one for one, especially if they get tens, hundreds, thousands of views, right? Because that means that there's going to be tens, hundreds, thousands of other people that started doing it before you. And what happens when thousands of people start doing something? Well, the super profitable thing no longer is profitable because of basic supply and demand. Up next, we have the rule of bulk. What do I mean by this? This means that no matter what you're doing, if you're mapping, if you're bossing, if you're crafting, whatever you're doing, make sure that you have enough currency to do bulk of this. If you're trying to profit craft, make sure that you're able to afford two, three, four bases plus all the materials. That way, if you get something decent, you're able to throw it up and you don't have to roll over decent items and waste potential profit. If you're bossing, don't buy one or two or three of something because the chances that you're going to go negative are extremely high. Same with mapping, because with mapping and bossing, the profit comes from the bulk majority of consistency, right? It's the drops that you're going to get over a long period of time, unless you're incredibly lucky. If you only buy one, two, or three boss invitations, you're going to lose money 100% of the time. But as long as you do these things in bulk and it is a profitable method, which almost every strategy is, then you will be making currency and not wasting it. And for my final tip of the video, set realistic goals to avoid a burnout. If you've never had 5 divines, don't compare yourself to Reddit or streamers or content creators who have tens of thousands of hours in the game or play for 12 to 16 hours a day. If you've never had 5 divines, set a goal to hit 5 divines and then challenge yourself to get 5 divines faster up until the point when you're getting 20 divines and then you're getting an ashes in the first week and you're able to swap to your bossing character if that's what you want to do. Set little goals that are realistic, because at the end of the day, Path of Exile is a game and games are supposed to be fun. So if you're trying to set unrealistic goals for yourself and chase after streamers and content creators who play the game as a job and essentially no life it, you're just going to end up burning yourself out and not having fun. But that's pretty much it. Those are some common tips and tricks, some things that I like to keep in mind while playing Path of Exile to make sure that I'm able to achieve all of my goals and get everything that I want done in a league done. Like I mentioned, this is mainly going to be basic and for very newer or intermediate players. But if you got anything out of this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me down in the comments if it helped you out, if it helped change your mindset a little, if you're going to think about doing these in the next league. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And until next time, take care.